Hello, I'm Watch Manager Chris Wood. I work at Westmoreland Training Centre as one of the training instructors for operational skills. Welcome to the latest update on the work that Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service has been undertaking over the last few months. Together with colleagues at Devizes Training Centre, our team was busy through June and July training new whole-time firefighters who have joined the service since the recruitment process that started at the end of last year. Over 9 weeks, we delivered the full range of basic skills training, including additional modules on high-rise incidents and working at height. We also experienced some extremes of weather, from torrential hail to one of the hottest days of the year. But the students showed the resilience and teamwork that will stand them in good stead as their careers progress. They are now all on the run at stations across our service area, and we wish them well. Training doesn't just happen at our training centres or even at our fire stations. On the 20th of July, crews from Bear Regis, Blandford and Wareham took part in exercise Stricken Titan, hosted at Bovington Army Camp. Military vehicles are quite common in the Dorset and Wiltshire area, and this was a valuable opportunity for firefighters to learn more about the armoured vehicles used by the military. Before testing their casualty evacuation skills in a real-time exercise involving a Titan bridge-laying tank and a 4x4 vehicle. Firefighters from Carn, Chippenham, Corsham and Malmesbury used a business park in Chippenham to set up a 5-vehicle road traffic collision exercise on the 2nd of August. As well as the expected challenges of such an incident, there was the added complexity of an electric car that needed to be made safe. This was an excellent opportunity for firefighters to test their skills and keep up with developments in vehicle technology. Operationally, the last couple of months have seen a rise in fires affecting farm machinery, fields, grain dryers and barns due to the busy harvest period. Barn fires in particular can be very resource intensive and often require firefighting presence on scene for 24 hours or longer. As a result, we have been sharing farm safety advice on social media and through a news release, highlighting the importance of cleaning and maintenance schedules and reminding farmers not to bale wet hay. The summer also leads to more rescues from water and along our cliff tops. In the last few months, there have been tragic losses of life where fire crews have been called to assist. When such incidents occur, we work closely with our colleagues in the RNLI and Her Majesty's Coast Guard, as well as the ambulance service and our 2 police forces. The community in Bromham, near Devizes, rallied around in June to support the steward of the village's social centre after he lost everything in a fire that destroyed the building. The blaze started accidentally in the roof during building works, and it took 5 fire crews, an aerial ladder platform and 2 water carriers to bring it under control. Multiple crews were needed to tackle a fire in the roof of the Burger King restaurant on Queen's Drive in Swindon on the 24th of June. And the aerial ladder platform was used as a water tower when it became unsafe to fight the fire from inside the building. This unique perspective of the incident is from a body-worn camera and now a central tool in assessing and maintaining incident command competence. The M4 motorway between Swindon and Hungerford was closed for several hours on the 16th of July after a lorry caught fire on the carriageway. 4 fire engines and a water carrier were sent to the scene, following several explosions from cylinders on board the vehicle. Crews used foam to extinguish this extremely challenging fire. The service drone was also used to check for hotspots. A police investigation was launched after fire broke out in the stairwell of a block of flats in Salisbury on the 25th of July. Several people were rescued, including one with the use of a fire escape hood, and thankfully there were no serious injuries. A fire escape hood was also used at an incident in Pewsey 9 days earlier. Fire escape hoods are a new piece of equipment that aids in casualty evacuation that we've introduced as part of the operational learning from Grenfell Tower. An amber wildfire alert was issued at the start of September during the period of very hot weather. An area of approximately 7,000 square metres of heath and scrubland was damaged by another significant fire within Wareham Forest on the 6th of September, but a quick response from firefighters and learning from the previous major incident helped to ensure the spread was contained. Of course, the service is about far more than just emergency response. Over the summer, the Safe and Well team entered into a new partnership with Tricuro, the care support provider for both Dorset Council and BCP Council, to reach more vulnerable people with potentially life-saving fire safety advice. The education road safety teams have continued with delivering their lessons digitally as well as face-to-face, with new resources developed and made available online. All of the feedback provided by teachers, parents, carers and students has shown that this approach has been both successful and well received. Social media continues to be a huge part of how the service communicates with our communities, and June saw us mark both Home Fire Safety Week and Learning Disabilities Week by sharing a series of videos on our social media accounts, which were made for us by local young people with various disabilities. We have also been campaigning through the summer for people to bring a picnic, not a barbecue, working with partners including the Urban Heaths Partnership, Forestry England, Litter Free Dorset and the local authorities. One of the biggest events of the summer was the Bournemouth Air Festival in early September, when hundreds of thousands of people descended on the area over 4 days to enjoy the displays. Our fire safety team play an essential role in the delivery of this event, from the pre-planning stages onwards, making sure that exhibitors and traders alike are working in a safe and lawful way. We also support the partnership working within the festival's joint command structure. This oversaw the emergency response to an incident involving a Wing Walker light aircraft which ditched into the water by the mouth of Poole Harbour following a display. Thankfully, those on board had only minor injuries due to the skill of the pilot. In June, the Firefighters Charity's new Director of Fundraising and Engagement visited Salisbury Fire Station and enjoyed her first hands-on experience of what being a firefighter involves. Ruth Powell started her job in March and was invited to visit the service during a virtual meeting with Chief Fire Officer Ben Ansell, Area Manager Mark House and the charity's Chief Executive Dr. Jill Tofrey. The service said goodbye to one of its longest serving firefighters on the 31st of July. Watch Manager Chris Martin retired from Ramsbury Fire Station after nearly 42 years on call. Sadly, his formal presentation had to be postponed due to the pandemic restrictions, but colleagues at the station marked the occasion at his last drill night. Earlier this year, Chris received the British Empire Medal in recognition of his outstanding commitment to his community. Finally, our annual award ceremony was held on the 9th of September. As in 2020, this was a virtual event due to the challenges of the pandemic, but the Lord Lieutenant of Dorset, Angus Campbell, and a Deputy Lieutenant of Wiltshire, David Scott, together with the High Sheriff of Dorset, Michael Dooley, and the High Sheriff of Wiltshire, Sir Charles Hobhouse, and other honoured guests, gathered on teams to celebrate long service and good conduct medals, a Chief Fire Officer's commendation, Making a Difference awards, and special recognition for the many staff who have gone above and beyond in support of the service's response to the coronavirus pandemic. In total, over 100 members of staff from across the service received awards on the night, and all are to be congratulated for their commitment and professionalism. Arrangements are now in hand to present a number of further commendations to the members of the public and the annual On-Call Employer Award. I hope you've enjoyed watching our update. Please visit our website if you'd like any more information on anything you've seen.